Hi Bobcats, this is Miss Lee, and this video lesson is on representations for division. Different ways to represent division. Make sure that you have your notes packet. If you do not, get some notebook paper to take notes on. Pause the video when necessary so that you can stay caught up. Okay, there are 3 ways to represent a division expression. The first is in fraction form. So most of you know or should know by now that the fraction bar means to divide. Going forward in 6th grade, we're going to start representing our division in fraction form. Okay? This is where A, the numerator, is the number that goes inside the house, it's the dividend, and B, the denominator, is your divisor, the number that goes outside the house. Sometimes we forget, we have trouble remembering which number goes inside, which number goes outside. For example, if we have the fraction 1/3 and we want to represent this as division, a lot of us want to put the larger number inside the house. So a little tip is TIBO. TIBO stands for top in. That means the top number 1 goes inside. BO stands for bottom out, where the bottom number goes outside the house. So this would be how you would set up the long division for the division that's represented in fraction form. The second way is what we're used to, using the division symbol, A divided by B, where A is your dividend, the number that goes inside the house, and B is your divisor, it goes outside the house. A is the number that is being split up or that is being shared. And B is telling you either the size that each person gets, the size of each group, or the number of groups. And then the third way is to use the long division symbol as actually setting up the division problem to do the division work. Okay, so we're going to practice setting up some division using the 3 different ways to write our division expression. So 8 members of the math club equally shared 3 pizzas. Represent the division expression 3 different ways, then express the amount each member gets as a decimal. So think about what it is we're talking about. We're talking about 8 members of the math club, and we're talking about the 3 pizzas they're sharing. Sometimes it can get confusing to figure out what goes first. So I'm going to start with the division symbol, what we're used to. It's confusing as to what number goes first in the expression. It's the number that's being shared. So ask yourself, are we sharing the 8 members of the math club, or are we sharing the pizza? What's being shared? Well, it's the pizza. So that's what goes first in our expression with the division symbol. The amount that's being shared, which is 3. And how are we sharing it? We're sharing it within 8 members. So that is your second number in the expression. If you want to write it in fraction form, write it just the way you wrote it using the division symbol. 3 divided by 8. So in fraction form, it would be 3 divided by 8. And then for long division, that's actually setting up the long division house. Again, 3 divided by 8. Think of your TIBO. Top in, the 3. Bottom out, the 8. So this would be what it looks like with the long division symbol. If you were looking at the division expression up here with the division symbol, the first number is what goes inside the house. It's not the largest number, it's the first number. And then the second one goes outside. And then we find the quotient we can divide. So we can actually do our long division because we know 8 does not go into 3, but we can add a decimal point and a 0. Okay, so 8 does not go into 3, but it does go into 30 3 times. 3 times 8 is 24. Subtract remainder 6. So we're not leaving remainders, so we bring down the 0. 8 goes into 67 times, which is 56. Remainder 4, add another 0, bring it down, and 8 goes into 45 times, which is 40. Now we have a 0 remainder and we can stop. So as a decimal, it's 375 thousandths. Now, some of you maybe could have skipped all of this work because you recognize that 3/8 is a benchmark, right? And if you know that 1/8 is 125 thousandths, then you just multiply it by 3, because we want 3 of them, and you get the 375 thousandths. Okay, second example. Maddie correctly answered 17 out of 20 questions on her math test. Represent the division expression 3 different ways, then express the amount of correct questions Maddie got as a percent. All right, well, this 17 out of 20, the way it's written, 17 out of 20, this reminds me of a fraction. 17 out of 20. So if you read it as a division expression, it would be read 17 divided by 20. And then you can do your T-bow, top in, bottom out. We want to represent this as a percent. So you could do the long division and find the decimal and turn it into a percent, or work with it in fraction form. 17/20. I want a percent. We know percent is always out of 100. So what's your scale factor? What can you multiply 20 by to make 100? 5. Then you multiply the numerator by 5 as well, and you get 85 hundredths, which you can then write as a percent, because any number out of 100 can be written as a percent. 85%. So what I was saying earlier is you can do the math, do your division. You know 20 doesn't go into 1 or 17, but it will go into 170 8 times, which is 160. Subtract, add another 0, bring it down, and it goes into 105 times. Then do your DP. Remember the decimal percent we talked about, Dr. Pepper? If I want to go from a decimal to a percent, I move 2 places to the right. So here's my decimal point. I move it 1, 2 places to the right, and it becomes 85%. Okay, go ahead and pause the video. Well, before you pause it, let me read the problem. Allie has 6 candy bars that she wants to share equally with 14 friends. Which expressions, remember it's plural here, so there could be more than one answer, which expressions can be used to determine the amount of candy bars each friend will receive? Go ahead and pause the video, solve the problem. When you're done, come back and check your answer. Okay, did you get answer choices 3 and 4 only? If you did, great job. Move on to the next example. If not, let's talk about this. She has 6 candy bars. She wants to share it with 14 friends. Is she sharing the friends or is she sharing the candy bar? She's sharing the 6 candy bars. So that's what's going to go first in your expression. So it should be 6 divided by 14. And actually, I made a mistake on this one. No, I didn't. 6 divided by 14. I got confused there. All right, so that's answer choice 3. Answer choice 4 is also read 6 divided by 14. 1 is showing that she's sharing her friends, which isn't true. 2 is also showing that she's sharing her friends, which is not true. Or you could think of this as T-bow. Top in, bottom out, top in, bottom out. Okay, here's our next example. Of the 350 seniors at Westside High School, 1/25th plan to attend community college in the fall. Which represents the part of the seniors who plan to attend community college? Go ahead and pause the video. There could be more than one answer. Solve this, then come back and check. Okay, this problem, there was actually only one answer, J. And to find that, you could have either actually done the division, T-bow, top in, 1 inside, bottom out. You could have done the long division, or what I did was I changed mine to the place value of hundredths, and I got 4 hundredths, which is written in decimal form like this, which is answer J, not answer G. Okay, this one I know is not correct because when I did my TIBO, the 25 is your divisor. And then this next one, there's a couple of different ways you can look at this. The first one is that this 350, they put this into their problem. But that's not what the question was asking. We know 1/25th planned to attend community college. It was this fraction amount that we wanted to see what was represented. The 350, there's just an extra number that's there. But what you could have done was you could have done the work to see if this is equivalent to 1/25th. So remember, to find equivalent fraction, we have the same denominator, scale factor multiplied by 14. Do the same with the 1 and you get 14 over 350, not 25. All right, guys, good job.